Hi guys. Yesterday we read chapter 6. It was called Not So Bad After All. And we learned a few reasons why Freddy actually didn't mind having a broken arm. He said there was 2 things that were bad and then he added a 3rd thing. But besides those 3 things, he was telling us it wasn't so bad after all. Okay? So the chapter today, King of the World, we're going to see why we think he's feeling like the king of the world. And some of you made some predictions, so we'll see if that's right. Oh yeah, so it left off with Susie carrying his backpack out the door. And Freddy says, "Thanks, Susie," I said as I dropped my backpack at my classroom door and took off across the yard. "You're not welcome," she called over her shoulder. As soon as I walked into class, all the kids ran up to me and started asking me tons of questions. Jessie was the first. "Oh my gosh, Freddy, what happened? Is it broken?" Chloe asked. "Duh," said Max. "Of course it's broken. Why do you think he has on a cast?" "Well, you don't have to be so mean," Chloe said, sticking out her tongue. "I was just asking." Max turned back to me. "So what happened? Did you fall off your bike with training wheels?" he snickered. So there's Chloe saying, "Is it broken?" And then Max just asked if he fell off his bike with training wheels. "No, for your information, I fell out of a tree, a very high tree." "Oh yeah? How high?" Max asked. "Oh, I bet it was at least 20 feet off the ground." I glanced over in Robbie's direction, and he gave me a "please just back me up" kind of look. Freddy gave Robbie a "please just back me up" kind of look. Do you guys know what it means to back somebody up? He's looking for Robbie to say, "Yeah, it really was 20 feet high." And I noticed the author put this part in slanted words because he was showing us the kind of look he gave him. Does that make sense? "Oh yeah, at least 20 feet, Robbie chimed in. "Yep, I was doing some fancy tricks on the branch, and the branch broke." "Yeah, he was hanging upside down by his knees," said Robbie. "No way," Max said in disbelief. "I didn't think you'd even know how to climb a tree." "Oh yeah, I do it all the time," I said, trying to sound tough. Jessie gently touched my cast. "Does it hurt a lot, Freddy?" "It did at first, but not much anymore." "Caramba, you're so brave." "That must mean what?" Like, wow. "Well, Freddy," said Mrs. Whooshy, "that must have been really scary. I'm glad you're okay, and I see you broke your right hand, so you'll have to be a lefty for a few weeks. You just let me know if there's any extra help you need with your work. It might be tough to cut with your left hand." "Thanks," I said, smiling. "Can we sign your cast?" Jessie asked. "Sure, that's a great idea, Jessie," said Mrs. Whooshy said. It's on the next page. "I bet that would make Freddy feel a lot better. I'll go get some permanent markers." Mrs. Whooshy went to get the markers, and I sat down at the table to rest my arm. Robbie came to sit next to me. "Thanks for playing along back there," I whispered. "That's what friends are for," he whispered back and smiled, because he ended up backing him up with the 20-foot tree thing. "You know, you're the best friend a guy could have. So you're not mad at me after all that happened?" Robbie asked. "Nah, it's not your fault. I was the one who climbed the tree." Just then, Mrs. Whooshy came back. "Okay, everyone, let's line up so you can take turns signing Freddy's cast." Max, of course, pushed and shoved his way to the front of the line and wrote his name huge. Too bad the markers were permanent. That's funny. I'm guessing that Freddy wished he could have erased Max's name. "The rest of you need to write a little smaller," said Mrs. Whooshy, "so that everyone's name will fit." Chloe bragged, "I know how to write my name in cursive." And then she wrote her name all swirly and fancy. I guess I was supposed to be impressed, but I wasn't. Jessie signed her name and then drew a little red heart next to it. My stomach did a flip-flop. When it was Robbie's turn, he wrote Best Friends Forever, Robbie. After all the kids were finished, Mrs. Wishy drew a big happy face and wrote, Feel better soon. Love, Mrs. Wishy. I looked at my cast and smiled. Thanks, everyone. This looks really, really cool. It was so great being the center of attention. I felt like I was the king of the world. So there it is. We know why he feels like the king of the world. It's because he's getting a lot of attention. Then Mrs. Wishy brought me back to earth. Brought me back down to earth. As everyone went to sit on the rug, she said, Now remember, boys and girls. There's the cast. Your nocturnal animal reports are due tomorrow. I hope everyone worked hard on them over the weekend. Oh no, the report. I'd forgotten all about it. I still hadn't picked an animal, but why was I worrying? Mrs. Wishy wouldn't make me do it with a broken arm. I raised my hand. Yes, Freddy. Mrs. Wishy, do you expect me to do the report with a broken arm? You don't expect me to do the report with a broken arm, do you? You're lucky, Freddy, because this is not a written report. It's an oral report. Do you guys know what that means? So you can still do it. It doesn't involve any writing. All you have to do is talk. I know you'll do just fine. The king of the world just became king of the mud. So now he's kind of bummed because does he still have to do the report? Yep, he has to talk about it in front of the class. So the next chapter is the report. So we'll find out which animal he chooses. And I wonder how he's going to get it done. I wonder if he'll ask his parents for help. I'm noticing there's a little whiteout thing here. I wonder if he'll ask his parents for help or maybe his sister. We'll find out.